everybody, as you're coming in. Hello, hello. I guess I'll talk about the granddaughter story some other time. Child after my own heart. Hi, everybody. We were just chatting in the green room about my kids' artwork that's around me. Yes, I'm one of those moms. So we missed last week. Hope everybody that didn't miss. We had planned an off day for Labor Day. So hope everybody had a nice day and could catch up on some reading because we have been giving you lots of good recommendations. So hopefully you got some good reading in. And welcome back to Liz, is off of sabbatical now. She was
Thank you.
you're welcome. Yeah. Visiting just a few little, we spend a little time in England, spend a little time in France, where. So all good. So, hello, Sherry from Solana Beach. I love it when people tell us where they're calling from. Okay, what else? We have a virtual, oh, well, I'll tell it afterwards too. We have a virtual event tomorrow. We just did very interesting event with Jill Lepore on Sunday. She's promoting her new book, We the People. It's not out till the 16th. We got some advance on that one. So new one to look forward to from Jill Lepore for everybody. So look for that one. And then we're hosting RF Kuang on Thursday, which is like we have over 1,000, like 1,100 people coming on Thursday. Is Julie a little stressed? Yes, as a matter of fact, she
Better
is.
be. Keeps you sharp.
Keeps me sharp, keeps me on my toes. 1,000 people. It's like it's and she's doing she's pre-signing all the stock, but then she's going to do a personalization signing. So yeah. And
That's a
okay,
lot
so
of work.
and I
That's a lot
and
of
I
work,
know
Julie.
it's yeah, it's like it's I'm waking up in the middle of the night a few times. It's okay
Yeah.
though. Yeah,
As a
it's a lot.
former event coordinator, I feel you and you.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
know
Yeah.
how it is.
Because it's like I've gotten to the point where like 500 people's like, I can do that. For whatever reason, 1,000's just like making my head spin a little bit. So
Thousands a lot of people.
1,000's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, but we're in a really nice facility down at Point Loma. We're in Brown Chapel that can handle like 1,800 people, and so it's nice that we have a nice facility for it to be at. But so Amanda showed me, and I had seen it too, because she pronounces her new book catabasis. So it's Katabasis, which I was saying catabasis, but it's catabasis, I guess. But I loved her because when she was doing one of her interviews, she was talking about how she learned how to speak English reading. And so she mispronounces a lot of words, and a lot of us do. I know I do. I mispronounce stuff all the time. When I'm reading something, it's just like I'm mispronouncing it in my head. And then when I say it out loud, and so she's like, don't be a jerk if people mispronounce stuff. It's just like you don't know how they've learned that word or what they're doing. So if I didn't appreciate her before, I appreciate her even more now. So she was good. All right. Okay. Let's start. We've got Liz, we'll go first, and then Gabe, and then Julia. So Liz, I think the screen's ready if you need it. Take it away.
This, I'm
If you want to
unmuted.
share.
Good.
Yep. Yep,
Good.
you're
Good.
unmuted.
Good.
Yep.
Okay, so this is big. This is we've been waiting for.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Oh, yes.
yes. The sixth Dan Brown, Robert Langdon mystery thriller. It's been under lock and key.
Wow.
Yes. So it goes on sale tomorrow. He will usher in Pub Day on Good Morning America. And then I can't wait to read the reviews because this should please all fans of the Da Vinci Code.
Mhm.
It's interwoven mythology, book within a book. So it's also set in one of the world's favorite cities, Prague. Here, Robert Langdon, who's if watchers don't know, his character is a professor of symbology, and he travels to Prague to attend this groundbreaking lecture by his now girlfriend, Catherine Solomon, who's a prominent noetic scientist. So, noetic science is the science of consciousness and the relation of the mind to the universe, the idea that maybe the mind can control the universe or have an effect on the universe. Yes, so she's now his girlfriend, and she's on the verge of publishing this explosive book about the nature of human consciousness. But then there's a brutal murder, and that disrupts the trip for him to see the lecture. And also, Catherine and her manuscript disappear. And then Robert Langdon finds that he is being hunted by this assailant that, here's a supernatural element, possibly, seems to be sprung from Prague's most ancient mythology. So his desperate search for Catherine leads him to London, New York. It's that globe-trotting, rich race against time through the dual worlds of futuristic science and mystical lore. And all is sort of underpinned by this revelation that's in her book and this sort of secret project that's supposedly going to change the way we think about the human mind. So every buddy that has read it, and like I said, it's been circulating around the company. And I read a portion of it. It was excerpted actually in People magazine last week. So people have had a taste, and I know everyone's excited. And of course, Dan Brown is just gigantic presence. He loves these intellectual thrillers. And Netflix is already going to slated to have a series based on the book. He's the writer and executive producer, and so just so much is going to be happening. This is going to be a huge bestseller, and I couldn't not tell you about it. Um, and we're really thinking and hoping, of course, that it'll bring a lot of new, younger readers to the Da Vinci Code. They may have seen the movie, but now maybe they'll really want to get into his fiction and his backlist. And we put new covers on all his backlist. It's just like a huge initiative for us. So look for that tomorrow. I know you've ordered a bunch.
Yeah, because I mean that this is here, let's get you off a screen share.
Yeah. Thank you.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, just a little publishing thing when Dan Brown publishes a book.
Yeah, it's what we call a publishing event, right?
It is an event. It is an event when Dan Brown has a book. So yeah, super exciting. And yes, we have plenty at the store. And can't wait, like you said, can't wait to hear what people are gonna say. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It always is a good one. Oh, I guess my mic's going in and out. Sorry,
No,
everybody.
you're
Is
good.
it? Am I good?
You're good to me.
Okay.
You're good. It just was quiet. It was
Me?
quiet. I'm sorry to tell you, it was
Must
just a
be the
little
mic.
quiet at first.
What the breaking
Maybe
a
it was just
mic?
me.
I love it. Okay.
It was just for a second. It was
Just for a second. Okay. Who knows what that was? The universe telling me, what was it? I was on a phone call with Mallory today and I was complaining about something and then the phone just like went dead and I said, well, that's the universe telling me to quit complaining. So so I was just like, okay, I'm not even calling you back. All right. Okay, Gabe, what do you got for us?
What do I have for you? Well, I wasn't sure if Liz was going to be here or not, so because she's been on sabbatical.
Oh, look at what you got.
I can't even spell
You are
sabbatical.
my friend.
But since I knew you were going to speak about it, and I actually haven't read it, but I've read every other Dan Brown, and I've read the last one, which I really liked, on Gaudi and stuff. I thought I would talk about this, but since it's been covered, I'm going to pivot quickly because Gabe's always ready. I'm going to
love
talk
it.
about the new Nicholas Meyer, which I think just came out last week, or I just saw it on the table recently, so I threw that in real quick. For those of you who haven't read Nicholas Meyer, his best book, most famous book, was a book called 7% Solution. There was a movie in the maybe early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. And it's Sherlock Holmes and Watson. And it was a really fun retelling. He really immersed himself. And I think for us Sherlock Holmes fans, and actually for people who'd never read Sherlock Holmes, um, they really, really loved 7% Solution. And it was a great romp. It was nicely filmed, good actors. So I've been reading all of these. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I didn't talk about the last book that he did because it was not very good. It was a little uneven. And he was in America. When you leave your patch, you better be freaking good. because
See,
otherwise,
that's why we like it, Gabe. Give us a good, honest.
yeah, and I do like Nicholas Meyer, and I read it, but I put that one down. This book is a lot of fun, and not only because Deborah worked on the editorial process with uh, Mysterious, but she said I got the manuscript. I'm like, I want to read it. Let me have it, and it's a lot of fun, and it takes he this book what he like the last book he had like it was like around the world in 80 days and Cantinflas hanging out of a train. It was kind of like this book is back to Holmes. It's back to for those of you who might have tried the last one and didn't love it like I did. This one talks about Holmes. It really revolves around Holmes' investigative style and the obvious and what you the average person doesn't see. So this is really a lot more Sherlock Holmes than the last. The last book didn't feel like a Holmes book. This really is. And I think he avoids some of the pitfalls that he's had that have made a couple of the other books a little uneven. I think this is probably the second best after 7% Solution.
Okay. Love it. Let me take. Oh, you got it. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. You got it. You're the pro. You're a pro. Come on now.
Day one.
Day one. Love it. So I love that you were going to do Dan Brown. That's awesome.
You know what? I like Dan Brown. And
I
people
know.
have criticized Dan Brown. And you know what? I'm like, you know what? I read Da Vinci Code and I was at the end of the book in no time,
Angels and Demons is still one of my favorites. I still love
Even,
that
even
book.
with that ending that just went on too long, but it was a good page turner.
Yeah,
And
no.
I like all that stuff. So this is in Prague,
Right.
which is a great city. It's evolved itself around all of Prague mythology and stuff. I think it's what I read. So I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, I know. I think it's going to be good. Yay. Okay, Julia, what do you have for us today?
I was at college in London, and right near Temple Bar when the Da Vinci Code came out, and most of that book is set in Temple Bar, and it was very fun.
Yeah.
I read it.
I just loved all my Catholic friends going crazy when Da Vinci Code came out. That was my fun. I mean, they were losing their minds. It was awesome.
Before I start my recommendations, I told Julie someone had asked for a gluten-free cookbook a while ago, and I'm so sorry that I forget who it was that asked, but I just wanted to highlight at the end of the month we have this book coming out, The Art of Gluten-Free Bread. And it's like breads and pastries and how to make them gluten-free. So I just wanted to point that out for the person who asked. And it was a while ago, and I do apologize that I forget who it was. Okay, but my actual pick, here we go. It came out on last Tuesday, so it's already out. It's on the shelves at Warwick's. This is Amity by Nathan Harris. He is the New York Times bestselling author of The Sweetness of Water, which was an Oprah pick when it came out. This follows, I love the cover on this. It's kind of it's great, but it's so weird. It's sort of a road trip novel, but it's a post-Civil War, like pre-Reconstruction road trip novel of these newly freed slaves who are enslaved people who decide like we do not want to be here anymore and take this wagon train trip through Louisiana and Texas into Mexico. And so it is much like The Sweetness of Water. It is that same sort of gorgeous writing. He really is like digging into sort of what it was like to, in the post-Civil War era, sort of the complexity of having been, enslaved and then being freed, but like sort of how are you freed? You still have to sort of engage and work and make money, and so how does that work? And then this decision to leave and sort of what that looks like, and then what it looks like to go through this undeveloped nation. And it's phenomenal. It's already getting great reviews. It's been a house favorite since we sort of first got the manuscript almost a year ago, and it is just a wonderful book. So if you liked The Sweetness of Water, you will definitely like this one. If you haven't read The Sweetness of Water, I highly encourage you to start with Amity. It's just the way he writes is so beautiful. It's so touching and tender and lovely, and I just really can't recommend this one highly enough.
I love it. Yeah, Dee said she read The Sweetness of Water and said it was amazing.
I
Yeah.
loved The Sweetness of Water. I mean, I forget a lot, but I remember scenes like by the lake. I remember scenes from that novel.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, are there any, since it is sort of the same, I mean, that also was newly free. Are there any recurring characters? Do you know?
Not that I can recall. I will admit that I was not a Hachette when The Sweetness of Water came out, and I did not read it.
Yeah,
Um, and so
that's
I did
okay.
I did read this one, which I very much enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I can't recall if there is any overlapping characters, but I think it is sort of it's different thematically, but I mean, not obviously there are certain similar themes, but this one sort of um involves this. I don't know. To me, the thing that stuck out the most about this book was the road trip aspect
Yeah.
of it, and like this sort of historical road trip novel under the most stressful and strenuous of circumstances.
Hmm.
So there is a bit of like adventure and fun to it as well.
Yeah.
Um,
And when you said it's not only on our shelves, it's in the front window.
oh
Just,
yes, well.
just so you know. Just saying, it's in our front window for you. Love it. All right, thanks, Julia. Okay, Liz, what do you have next?
Oh my gosh, you're quiet again somehow. Is that
Oh,
just me?
no, it might
Okay.
just be you.
It's okay. I mean, I can hear you, but
And Amanda's saying that it's happening to her too. So I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening.
it's interesting. All right. So I know, Julie, I've been talking about this book for a while, but I was on
Wait,
sabbatical.
you still, oh, there it is. There it goes.
Yeah. But I was on sabbatical when it came out, and I can't miss an opportunity to talk about it. It was an Indie Next pick. It's a debut. It won the Swedish Book of the Year award. Lisa Ridson, it's in translation. It's a paperback original. It's been selling really well, getting lots of attention. I put the Guardian headline in there, Garth Stein's review. So it's a quiet novel, but really deep, and you can read it. I don't know, it's maybe 200 pages, possibly less, around that. Um, and it's about, in it, we are introduced to Bo, who's an elderly widower, and he lives in this small house in the Swedish countryside, and he's struggling to maintain his independence towards the end of his life. He's really pretty much bedbound. His days only really broken up by his caregivers, a rotating group of caregivers who come, and the novel's broken up by their notes to each other about whether he showered, what he ate, that kind of a thing. And I like that because it gives you time to let sort of, you know, it sink in what he's going through. And the main tension is between he and his only son, who he has a tense relationship with because Bo has always really been kind of a stoic, masculine Scandinavian guy that just isn't very demonstrative. So his son feels that Bo's only companion is his elk hound, his beloved dog, and his son feels like he's too old to take care of his dog and wants to take his dog away. And really, in essence, this is pretty much the only thing keeping Bo from being terribly depressed and probably, dying. So the whole book is, yes, this tension, but also the most beautiful deep parts are about him looking back on his life. What kind of man was he? Who were his friends? What was his relationship with his wife like? Very sweet relationship with his granddaughter who comes to visit. It's just a book for really anyone, but especially people who are taking care of elderly parents, or just reflecting on mortality. The author came to this in an interesting way. One, she's a doctoral student who's studying, researching masculinity norms in the rural far north, but also she was inspired by her grandfather's, the notes that she would see from her own grandfather's home care team. So that was sort of the seed of the novel. I totally love it, and I think it would make a great book club discussion, just something you can read quickly, but like I said, very poignant.
I okay, hopefully you can hear me. I loved that book so much. I give it to everybody. My sister's read it. Everybody I can put that book in their hands. Nancy loved it. It's
Good.
just
It's a
it's just
gem.
a gem. I was just gonna say the same thing. It's just a gem of a novel that everybody can read. And it's just, oh, it's so good. It's so good.
And it helps
And
you
even
understand older people. Like even a teenager, I don't know, like to
right.
understand what
Because
it's like.
they still have, you get to where you think you should be telling them what they should do, and it's just like, no, let them, let
Hmm.
them have their things.
Yeah.
Let them have their stuff. So but then it's hard because it's like it's a safety thing. It's hard,
Yeah.
but it's so good. It's such a good book.
Thank you. I remember when I gave it to you, and I
Oh,
really appreciate you having read it and
oh,
loved it and
love it.
all of that.
Yeah. And Beth Doherty here, you are on a reading frenzy and you have some of our favorite books in your waiting for you in the mailbox. Mona's Eyes. So good. So good. All right, Gabe, what's next?
Sorry, I'm catching up, seeing that Beth got a couple of my recommends, and
There you go, right?
I can make sure. I can
See
make
how that
sure.
goes?
So, you know,
Not that we're keeping score or anything.
not at all. No. That last book reminded me, and I'm going to pitch it again just because it really reminded me a lot of Horse by Willie
Mm,
Cotton. Different in tenor, absolutely. Um, yeah, different in tenor, but I picked it up and I was like, yeah, it's looking back, it's a life looking back, it's a life looking at a life. Just so many similarities to it. Absolutely a different tenor.
yeah.
But
But
still, I think both really outstanding little books.
yep.
Um, and that was my pitch for Willie, who I love. I love
Yep.
Willie. And I'm going to share. God, I forgot how to share. And then, so the next book I'm going to talk about is, I'm going to save that one for later. Can you see it? The Singing
Yep.
Word,
Yep.
168 Years of Atlantic Poetry
Mm.
edited by Walt Hunter. A little lazy today. I got a little tardy getting started on this, so I didn't get a chance to research Walt Hunter. A name I've never heard of, but um, The Atlantic, I have heard of. The Atlantic's a magazine that I used to aspire to read. It's a magazine that it was when as a little kid, you're like, The New Yorker, The Atlantic. Those seem to be the two magazines that I wanted to be, the world that I wanted to involve myself in. 168 years of poetry. This magazine was one of the earlier magazines. It was around in Mark Twain's day. I think William Dean Howells might have been the original editor of The Atlantic, the American realist, novelist. So just like the New Yorker collection, which blew my mind on the short story front and on the poetry front, I still I get excited when I think about those two collections. I saw this was out and I had to dig into it. So you're going back to early American fiction, poetry. You're looking at the mid 1800s through the late 1800s. You're looking at the poetry of the 20th century, the earlier 20th century, the expats, all those writings. We move into the world of the M.S. Merwins, the Robert Frost, Sylvia Plath. We move into Adrian Rich territory. It is just another amazing collection from a magazine that's a standard of American literacy, culture. Um, it's still an outstanding magazine. I read The Atlantic. It's nonfiction articles, it's political takes, are all very smart and all very well done. And it is rare and rare that we have these old venerable institutions still committed to, like the New Yorker, committed to literature and works like this. So I'm just always happy to see something like this, and I just want to make sure that people see that there's some really amazing stuff still out there available, and this is still a great country. And this is the kind of stuff that reminds us where we came from and who we are supposed to be and who we are and who we've been. I was really moved by some of the stuff in here. So I recommend go out and pick it up. It's totally affordable.
And you know what I love about these collections is that they do all the hard work for you. And that, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, you don't have to go out and go buy them and find the right book and find,
Exactly. You know, there's
uh,
that.
yeah, they've done all that hard work for you and put it in a beautiful package. And maybe there's people that you haven't read that you think you should, you know, oh, I should probably have read something by, you know, so and so.
Or when
So
you read something, when you pick up a collection like that and you read a story and you're like, you know what? I remember when I read that 30 years ago, 20 years
yeah,
ago, 10 years ago, and what I felt when I read it. And I had no idea it was a short story worthy of being in the best of, you
right,
know. So
right, right.
sort
That's
of
another point to it. Yeah, yeah,
reinforces
yeah, yeah,
in your
exactly.
head that you have some good taste, perhaps.
I like it.
And
Just a little validation.
sometimes I think also when I think of poets, because it's so different than any other category of books we sell. It's more like song, I think that they're in some ways so much more representative of a time, of an era. Like to have a book like that section, it really is like an American history book in a beautiful, you know,
Hmm.
hopefully Frost, Lamone, they're all very accessible poets. That's
Yeah, I love it.
exciting. I didn't know anything about it. Thank you, Gabe.
Yeah, I love that. Thanks, Gabe. Okay, Julia, what do you have next for us?
Okay, next up is a personal favorite of
Love it.
mine. Um, and this is for the sports peeps. This is called Make Me Commissioner by Jane
Ooh, Jane
Levy.
Levy.
Yeah, I know what's wrong with baseball and I know how to fix it. She is the best-selling author of Sandy Koufax, the bio of Sandy Koufax that came out a number of years ago. And here's the thing, I'm a huge baseball fan. I've been well, I started off life as an Oakland A's fan. And when I was 9 years old, Barry Bonds came to the San Francisco Giants, and I switched allegiances, and I never looked back. And so, but I've been a huge baseball fan my whole life. My dad was a huge baseball fan and gave it to me, as I believe the love of baseball is given to you by people who will sit with you and teach you. And Jane Levy is a huge baseball fan. If you are reading the Wall Street Journal, there was a great review of this book on Saturday that I had a bunch of bookstores that had to reorder already, even though the book doesn't come out till tomorrow, because they had so many people pre-order the book after this Wall Street Journal review. But basically, what Jane Levy says is, this era of Moneyball and this era of cybermetrics is actually kind of ruining what's great about baseball. People have weird swings and they don't turn their bodies the right way. And, that causes the ball to do crazy things that make baseball entertaining. And in doing this ultra cybermetric sort of, like right now they like hook guys up to all these like electrodes and when they swing they calculate what the torque of their body is, and this just like it makes baseball boring to watch. And as much as it is one of my most beloved sports and sport to watch, I must admit that I agree with Jane Levy that in the recent years it's gotten maybe a little boring because of how sort of focused on cybermetrics they are. And so she makes an impassioned argument. It is in a lot of ways, it's a takedown a little bit of Major League Baseball and how they promote the beautiful sport of baseball, but it's also a love letter to baseball. So if you have someone in your family that has opinions about things like this, or if you have one of your friends, or maybe it's you that has opinions about things like this, I wholeheartedly recommend Make Me Commissioner by Jane Levy.
I love
And
it.
she is a wonderful writer. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it has. I mean, it's because we're huge baseball fans here too, and it's just like over the years when you look at players that were playing, like my dad's friends who were playing back in the 40s, for the love of baseball, and then people who have been playing in the 80s and 90s, that it's a different game from them.
And it's, they won't let a pitcher pitch a whole game, like,
Right.
but then also they're blowing their elbows out left and right because of how they have to pitch now.
Right.
They're like, they change pitchers every 2 seconds. It's just one of
Well,
those
the
things
time that they
like,
put a clock in on baseball now. That just
I
don't even
mean,
start me on that one.
yeah, but it's like all of that stuff that just like, you gotta it's lack of love of the game, seemingly by the commissioner of baseball, and that's
Right.
really who she's taking down.
I love it. Yeah. Well, okay, but totally off topic, and I'm going to segue here for a minute. Sorry, everybody, we're going into lightning round, so it's just like because they just came to town here, and I'm so mad that I didn't know because we didn't get
Banana
tickets.
ball.
Yes, the Savannah Bananas. I was just like, okay, my husband thinks I'm insane because he's a purist. He is like such a purist of baseball. And when 60 Minutes did that thing on it, I was like, I love this. I think it's just because I think it's kind of like going watching Cirque du Soleil baseball. I mean, you're not going to watch baseball,
It's
you
like
know?
minor league special night, minor league Bush
Yeah.
League stuff
I was
that
gonna say it's like minor league baseball, which is a delight in and of itself.
Right. But this guy's really capitalized on something that when you're selling out stadiums and making that many people happy though, I think it's great. I think he's onto
Globetrotter.
something.
It's the Globetrotter
What I
phenomenon.
love about the Globetrotter, what I love about this though, and this is what they're not fixed games. So the Savannah Bananas don't always win. So that's a little something that I'll give them. So, but I love it. I love the Savannah
Yeah,
Bananas thing. I was so mad I missed it.
yeah, they
Anyways, not
sell
really
out. They sell out
baseball.
everywhere. It's a
Well,
well,
you know what I love? What I love though that it's giving some talented baseball players some decent income that they can't get playing like AAA ball. You know what I mean? So it's just sort of like I kind of appreciate that for those players
yeah, you get to do it.
that do have some talent and they're having fun doing it. So kudos to everybody on that one. All
But
right.
Jane Levy, I recommend. I worked on Jane Levy's three previous books, the Koufax, the Babe Ruth, and the Mickey Mantle, and she is like the real deal.
I love it.
She's not a dilettante by any means. She is a baseball fan. She knows baseball. And plus the extra research she does, it really comes across in her writing. And I'm totally a fan like her. I used to love baseball. Springtime, I was just waiting nuts, getting your glove out, oiling your glove, putting a ball in it, getting a new glove, that smell, and then strike year came around. Now it's metrics. It's you got a guy comes in and throws four pitches. I got to go. I don't know who's playing anymore. You know that.
That's the hardest. That's the most discouraging of it is like when you don't have the consistency of players in a team for your whole life. I mean, I'll still remember all the players of the 80s Dodgers
Yeah,
because they were all.
yeah. And I don't know if that's an important aspect of the game for a lot of people, but I used to love watching spring ball, Vero Beach, very casual, and you'd see the kids come up from double A and triple A, and then you'd see the couple that got dragged into the big club early in the season, they got sent back, and you'd see them go up and down, contributions, go back down, and then you'd see them, succeed. And that's those days. I hate the Cincinnati Reds. But individually, I love Davey Concepcion, Johnny Bench, one of the greatest, maybe the greatest catcher of all time.
Yeah.
Joe Morgan, what an outstanding second baseman. The only guy I didn't like was Pete Rose, but I did not like that Cincinnati team.
I love it. All right, there we go. Good baseball book. Okay, Liz, we're in lightning round. What do you got for us?
Lightning round, lightning round. I have a lovely book that is a memoir, and it's about Ukraine. It's about a family, a century of Ukraine history told through the story of four generations in Olia Hercules's family. She's a chef, Ukrainian-born chef. She's a gorgeous writer. She has cookbooks out, but this is her first prose book. Just tremendous reviews. I love the Nigella Lawson quote there. And so, beginning with the Russian invasion, she felt that she really needed to tell her family's story. So it goes back in time. As I said, four generations of her family. It takes us from the years of Russification to her grandmother's deportation to the snowy wastelands under Stalin, her Aunt Zinnia's school protest, her own parents' flight from the Ukraine when their village was occupied in 2022. So I know there are some books out there, but I can't think of another book out there that's this kind of a memoir. Um, so she's an amazing writer. One of my booksellers, Pat at Arinda Books, loved this when I gave it to her as an advanced reading copy and wrote me to say, I'm so fully absorbed by this book. I don't want it to end. It both warms my heart and fills me with tears. Um, and the author, like I said, she's in the UK now. She's just so much fun to follow on Instagram. I mean, it's a sad story, but she's just so full of life and, cooking and her Instagram stories, interviews with her. She's just a really smart, lovely person. And she also, following the invasion, she started a movement called Cook for Ukraine, and it raised over 2 million pounds for humanitarian efforts. So she's just a good person. She writes in a lot of cooking magazines. She's won a James Beard Award. So I recommend Strong Roots.
I love that cover.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Great
But-
package.
No, I want cards of it. It's so pretty.
Yes, it's such, oh, it's a beautiful cover. Love that. So love it. Thank you, Liz. Okay, Gabe, what's your lightning round?
Well, you did get quiet for a second there. That's weird.
Oh, see what's happening here. Although, okay, wait, I'll interrupt just for 1 second. These earphones are probably from my iPhone like 2. So it might be time to like get it. But they're the ones that plug into my computer. So it's like might be time to get new ones.
Loosen up, man. Spend the $6.99. All right. Speed round, lightning round. What are we calling this now? Fine line between stupid and clever. This is a biography of Spinal Tap, written by Rob Reiner, Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer. They're all contributing. I was laying in bed for a few nights months ago, and I hear like Deborah's just cracking up reading something, and I'm like, "What the hell are you reading? That's funny, like every night." Like this, and she's like that Spinal Tap thing. It was months ago. It was out way early on. Um, so I quickly downloaded it because who doesn't like Spinal Tap? Who loves Spinal Tap? Hilarious, 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 hilarious. It is all in the voices. It is a great stories. I mean, Jamie Lee being on the set as a guest meets Chris Guest and tells her friend, "That's the guy I want to marry." One of the longest marriages in Hollywood. It is a lot of the I okay. So all the stuff that went out of the movie, you have like your drummer gets lit on fire. They had a drummer who had like a major accident. There was all kinds of like things that parallel the movie. There's some really interesting stories, but it's just fun. It's just I think it's get it early. I don't know if they're gonna print enough. I think Spinal Tap is maybe a bigger deal than a lot of people might think. But grab a copy and then at the end there's a short book within a book, a biography of the Rob Reiner character who's the agent. So there's a little bit of a fake bio back in the back. So they're just having fun. They're all just, they're old friends sitting around goofing. Uh, that's the feeling you get when you're reading this book. Very intimate, and you're part of it all.
I love it. Who doesn't love Spinal Tap? But I mean, and who knew the Jamie Lee Curtis thing? I didn't know that until maybe like 5 years ago or so that I like realized that. But it's like, yeah, longest marriage. I mean, it's a long one.
Long term.
I don't know if we know who narrates the audiobook. I don't know if Amanda can look at that in the background, because it would be pretty fun to know.
Oh yeah,
if any of them-
I didn't even check on that. Never
Yeah.
checked on it.
Yeah, too fun. Okay, Julia, wrap us up.
Okay, my last one is a kid's book,
Love it.
because I love that Julie loves it. So
I do love it.
try to make it a reality. So this is called The Forest Revealed, an illustrated year by Jada Fitch. Sorry, not Janet Fitch. This is, so it's an oversized book. So just FYI, it is oversized. Let me move from the cover so I can show you the interiors. And this is a year in the forest. So yeah, you can see it's 15 by 11. So it's a big, it's got a big trim size, but it is so gorgeous, and it goes month by month through the seasons of the year to tell you what is out and about in the forest, whether it's um, flora or fauna. It shows you all the different things. It goes into, the plant life, so the lichen and you can see the mole there, and sort of just shows all the kids all of these different things about the forest. I think it's so beautiful. I think it's just like, it's got great information. I was a kid who loved a book with information, and I'm sure I drove my parents crazy because I memorized it and then quizzed them on it as if they should know because they were adults. And and I feel like for a kid like that, this book is just a gold mine. It's pretty, it's got things you can look out for, and it's got lots of good information. So this is the four. Oh yeah, and then there's the size you can see.
Oh, it's nice and big.
It's a big one.
Is that a little? Is that an adult holding it or a little kid?
It's an adult.
I love that book so much.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So this is The Forest Revealed, an illustrated year. And it's
oh my God, I love that so much. I don't know that that'll fit in my, because I was like, okay, because I'm going to the kids in a couple weeks. I'm like, oh, I don't know if my carry-on's big enough.
I might have to be in the checked bag.
Might have to go in the checked bag. I don't know if it's big enough. Oh my God, I love that so much. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
And I do love all those. I love those books that show like where they are living underground and all the little, I love that stuff.
You know, me too.
Okay. And Amanda with her, wow, I'm liking it. Like I need a little drum thing on that. Okay, and I looked up headphones are only $19. I will go to Apple Store. There's one right by my house. I'll go to the Apple Store and get new headphones for my iPhone 2 so that my microphone works better next week. And Gabe, Amanda did look it up. Rob Reiner, Chris Guest, and Michael McKean and Harry Shearer do read the audio. I think I might have to get the audio.
Yeah, put that in the chat too. Or the map. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is really fun. All right. I already told you about the events that we're having. Got some good stuff this week. Got some very good virtual stuff happening. Gonna do Patricia Cornwell and Dan Aykroyd again in October. I can't wait. So October 2nd, we're doing them again for a virtual event. Could be one of my most fun things to do. I hopefully am like their repeat coming to us. So I love it. I think that's pretty much it for me. So with that, let's see, there's one new message coming in. Yeah, thanks, Carla. Monday afternoons are fun for us. We love doing this. And I don't like missing, but sometimes it's like, oh, we have to miss every once in a while. So everybody have a good week reading, and Dan Brown Day tomorrow for everybody. It's Dan Brown Day. And we'll see everybody next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.